This new feature within ChatGPT changes everything. I'm talking about Canvas. This is a new thing that has just been released by OpenAI, and it's a feature that's available even with the free version of ChatGPT. I'm going to go through and explain exactly what this is, this new Canvas aspect of ChatGPT. And I'm also going to describe why I think this is a fundamental new thing that we in academia really need to start to consider. Because in my view, this changes writing as a whole. Now, what do I mean by this? What I mean is that I think we need to really take a step back and think about what does it mean to understand writing and go through the writing process. Because with this new tool that's within ChatGPT, I think this really changes some of the dynamics of the overall process. So before I get to explaining that, I think we need to fully understand what is this Canvas thing. So I'm going to show you clips from the OpenAI video that just came out that talks about it. It's a very good explanation video. I'll link to it to the whole thing in the description, but I'm going to show you some clips and then talk about what exactly this means as they go through it. So here we go.
Today, though, we're talking about Canvas, which is a product that we've had in beta for Plus users for the last couple months. Canvas allows you to collaborate with ChatGPT on writing and coding that goes beyond simple chat.
So if I go to ChatGPT, you'll notice starting today, there's a new button in the composer that lets us see all the tools available, one of which is Canvas. So I'm going to click that. And now anything that I type here is going to create a canvas.
A lot of people use ChatGPT to help with their own writing. Learning how to be a good writer is hard, and today we're really excited to showcase some new features in Canvas to make it easier to get feedback on your work. So in my spare time, I'm a bit of a physics enthusiast, and so I have an essay here that I've been working on titled Santa's Sleigh, Exploring the Role of Dark Energy in Reindeer Propulsion. I'm going to copy this from my, from my text editor and paste it into the prompt area in ChatGPT. Because I put in a substantial amount of text, we now have a new button in the upper right that says Open in Canvas. If I click this, the content from the prompt is put into the canvas, and this is the same editable surface that Lee was demonstrating.
So could you bold that title maybe?
Yeah, so I can go in here and make a change if I wanted to before I send it off to ChatGPT.
But so this hasn't been sent yet. So when you made that bold change, what just happened?
Correct, yeah, this is all still a draft document. Yeah. So until I send a message, I can edit it as much as I want. And ChatGPT hasn't seen it yet.
And it's attached to the composer.
Exactly. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to ask ChatGPT, can you leave some comments on my essay from the perspective of my physics professor?
Nice. OK. So maybe it's going to give you some technical tips.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see what it comes back with. But previously, it would be hard to connect what the feedback ChatGPT is giving you to your own work because it would all be inline in the chat. But now with Canvas, ChatGPT is able to select specific portions of your work and leave comments inline, which makes it really easy to connect what the suggestions are to your work.
Yeah, I'm looking at these. These are pretty good feedback. Consider linking this introduction more explicitly to the scientific exploration of dark energy to immediately establish the physics connection. But it didn't just respond to that in chat. It selected Santa's sleigh and his flying reindeer have long fascinated people, blending mystery and magic. OK, so it's picking out sentences that it wants to give you feedback on and then writing the specific feedback per sentence.
Exactly. And helpful. Each of these comments, I can have an apply button. And so clicking apply would allow ChatGPT to go through and apply the edit as it sees fit. And of course, I could then reject that edit if I wanted to. But since this is my own essay, I'm going to go in here and make changes on my own. So I like this comment. You may elaborate briefly on why dark energy is mysterious to provide context. I'm going to say we don't know why the universe expands, and we don't know why Santa is so fast in his sleigh. I'm curious about these. Cool.
The mysteries of the universe.
The mysteries of the universe. I'm going to dismiss this comment because I feel like I've addressed it.
Yep.
And when I'm ready to take my essay out of ChatGPT, I can click this copy button and send it off to my professor.
So that's really powerful in that now the AI can help this writer by giving them feedback. And you can see the type of feedback here isn't just a complete rewrite, it's suggestions like, hey, you should apply this or you should think about this. So that is really powerful on that level. And the other part of this is that now there's inline editing. So I mentioned this with another AI, Mistral AI, LeChat, but now we have that here within ChatGPT. So this means that after I get this feedback, I can go in and change it however I want to. You saw there where he went in and he bolded a certain text, right, the title, and then he went in and decided to change certain things all within the interface, all within there. Now, this was just regular suggestions, but he could go deeper. He could say, give me more suggestions. What about these different aspects? So there's lots going on here with this capability. Now that was using the AI as an assistant, right, to get feedback. But that's just part of it because now the AI can also be used to help with the creation process from the very beginning. And yet with that creation process now, because of Canvas, that creation process can still continue to bounce around with that person because they can go back and forth. So here's a clip of dealing with that.
Help me write a Christmas story about silly elves for my kids. And I'm going to send that off to ChatGPT, and it's going to get started right away on making a canvas for us. So there's a handful of things that we should explain what's going on here. The most significant thing that's different is you have this side-by-side view, where on the left is the chat, as you're used to it, and on the right is Canvas. And in Canvas right now, ChatGPT is busy writing the story for us. This is pretty different from what would happen if you wrote this kind of prompt before. You know, ChatGPT is good at doing this sort of creative writing work, but it would write it directly inline in chat, and sometimes it's hard to piece out what's the document and like what's the preamble or the what comes after, or especially if you wanted to make any changes along the way, things tend to get lost. But now you have this side by side. This is looking pretty good. You know, I could make some changes. I think this title is a little long, so I'm gonna, you know, maybe take this part out. Actually, you know, otherwise this is pretty good.
So ChatGPT can edit and you can edit sort of side by side.
Yeah, so I can type in here, you know, I've been editing the title, I'm kind of making it for my kids. So this is a collaborative document, and just like you might be used to in other document editors, you can come in here, you can add text, you can bold text, you can do lots of things you can do in other document editors. You can edit, ChatGPT can edit. I could go over back to chat, and just similar like I would do in any other ChatGPT workflow, I could give it feedback, I could ask for changes, and it's gonna come in and make those changes directly into the canvas. But rather than show you that, I thought it'd be interesting to show this button in the bottom corner, which has a handful of commonly used shortcuts that's based on things that we know people do in ChatGPT. Suggest edits, ask ChatGPT for feedback about what we might want to change about this. Adjust the length, might make this longer or shorter. Maybe I want a shorter bedtime story. Reading level will change this to make it more sophisticated language or simpler language in case I wanted to make it easier to read for my younger kids. Add final polish is really helpful, especially when you bring your own content. Check for spelling mistakes, grammar, things like that. And then add emojis. That sounds fun.
Yeah, we love emojis.
All right, well, let's try it. So if I click add emojis, I've got some options about where I want to put them, words, sections, lists. Let's try words. I click that, and ChatGPT is going to get to town putting emojis into my doc.
Look at that.
So what you're seeing here is ChatGPT now making a revision to the document in Canvas. Okay, so that's how you get started with Canvas. Canvas will trigger in a couple different scenarios. You can ask ChatGPT to just start collaborating with you on a piece of content, whether it be writing or code, and it will open a canvas for you automatically. Or like I just did here in the interface, I'll show you again, is this button in the composer to view the tools. You just click Canvas, and that's going to create a new canvas every time.
Amazing.
Now I show that clip here within our audience of academia because in my viewpoint, and again, I would love to get your comments on this as well, this is what I think the future of writing really is. I know that's controversial because of the whole writing process that we're used to. And again, I am on the side of writing, right? You learn so much from going through the writing process. I agree. But the reality is that a lot of people will now start to use this process. So we should develop that skill as well because there's going to be a right way and a wrong way to do that. The right way is to still have our voice within the creation. It's to still be a major part of it. is to still be an aspect of this creation process. It will allow us to create more. It will allow us to create faster, to be more efficient with all of this. But there needs to be some skill involved with that. That was just a creation of a children's story, right? But let's say I'm a student. Let's say I'm a student and I got asked to write a narrative. So let's use that as an example here. So if I go in here to ChatGPT and I'll select the Canvas aspect, and now I'm going to be a student that's interacting with this AI. A balanced approach here because I am using the AI to help me write this essay. But now you tell me if this is just me cheating, right? Or if this is me using a system properly to improve my efficiencies and my capabilities. And again, we have to think about what are the realities going forward? What is going to be expected in the workplace? What is going to be the need of that AI skill? But with that proper balance of still having foundational skills, having capabilities in writing. So let's go back to the prompt and really let's think about this prompt here that I'm creating. So here we go. I say, please help me write a narrative essay that is 600 to 700 words about how I felt when I learned that I was accepted into college. So that's a very typical type of prompt that's given in college right now, right? You go through freshman seminar and they're teaching you about narrative essays. So they might give you that as a student to say, hey, I want you to write a narrative essay about what you felt like when you got accepted into college. So this is a very typical thing. The idea here is I'm using the AI properly. Again, hold your evaluations and your decision making until we go through this full prompt. But the idea here is that I'm using AI as a tool to help me write this. And this could be part of the assignment. This could be part of the process. So bear with me as we go through this full prompt. So let's go back to the prompt. So now I add, express that I felt very happy and relieved because I really wanted to get in and my parents had high hopes for me. Also add that I had been saving money since my first year of high school doing odd jobs to help ensure that I would have enough money for college. My dad was also able to help with the money he earned while he was in the Army. It was some sort of special 9/11, post 9/11 college fund for soldiers' children. This is something that I have been working on to attend my whole life. So now this is a personalized prompt. This is me putting in my voice. This is putting in certain aspects of my thoughts and my experience to answer this question. But now the AI is going to write an essay for me. So that's the next step. Here's the results. So it goes through and gives me some great overall thoughts, an initial draft that it's creating for me in this case, but it should go further, right? Because this is a draft, this is initial creation. So now I can go in and continue to edit. So I can go in line and make some certain decisions, some changes to make it, again, my voice, my real aspects of this. And I could also go in and use the additional tools because remember, this is full of tools now that we have. So one of the tools that's listed here is suggest edits. Now I can simply click suggest edits and it will go through and reevaluate its own writing and say, hey, here's some suggestions. So here's what it comes up with. And yeah, these are pretty good ideas as far as what it comes up with. So I might add some more elaboration here. I might put in some more explanation here again to fully define what this means, to adding some reflection, to making it more emotional. Those are things that it's telling me that would enhance this overall essay. And also when going through there, I can make some specific changes, right? So here's an example where it said that I did odd jobs during high school. I mowed lawns, babysat, and did small errands for neighbors. So I could change that. I'll go in and I'll say, oh, I actually did this, this, and this. So that's different. That's being more specific. But you can see how the framework was created by the AI. But now I'm going through and I'm making it specific to me. I'm making it specific to my thoughts, my ideas. But this was effectively done because the majority of it was already done by the AI. Now, the big thing that you're thinking about right now, right, that I would be thinking about too is, well, hold on a second. We still need to make sure that the student knows how to write all of this on their own. My question to that, because that's one aspect, right, is that students need to be able to do everything on their own. Why? What do you mean they have to do this on their own? When will they ever have to do it on their own? We have this tool now. This tool is available to us, and it will always be available to us in the future, right? In fact, it's going to be even more available to us because the AI chips are going to be built into laptops. This is already within ChatGPT. It's going to be within Microsoft Word. So this is already a tool that's available to us, and that will be for the foreseeable future. Whether you have internet or not, it'll still be functioning. So that argument in itself that they need to be able to do it on their own because what if they don't have AI? That's not a real argument anymore. Now, the next thing would be as far as having their own voice. But I just showed you how the voice can still be maintained by me going through and adding those specific sections. Now, a good argument would be, well, yes, but they still need to know what right looks like. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. They still need to know, well, what is a thesis, right? What is explaining the main points? What is transitional sentences? Yes, I totally agree. And that could be a function of this as well, but we have to have a different viewpoint of that because I don't fully know that they know what that is simply by writing the essay. Yes, I know the product, but if I want to specifically ensure that they know those specific things, then maybe I should do that in a different way. Maybe I should do that by a separate quiz. Or maybe even, hey, they bring in their work and now I give them maybe a sheet from their work, right? I print out a part of their work and say, I want you to highlight transitional sentences as well as the thesis, right? Of your own work. Oh, okay, now that's a bit different. So there's many different ways to get to that other aspect of knowing what right looks like. Maybe that could be a function of I test that not in their own essay, but I test that by giving them someone else's essay. And they have to write down certain things as far as what is this quality or what are these aspects or identifying certain components. So there's other ways to measure that besides just the creation of the essay. So that's something for us to really think about because more and more, and this is something that I brought out within the share technique, right? I've made several different videos talking about that. But with that share technique, the big thing there is an understanding that we need to ensure that we have assessments beyond just the essay. Not saying to get rid of the essay because I love the essay, but to think about assignments and assessments beyond simply just the essay. Meaning that, yes, the essay should still be there and be a component, but we can have other things such as presentations. How about just a Q&A? How about a quiz associated with your essay? How about reflection writing in class after you turn in your essay or after you get feedback about your essay, your grade, then you have to write about it, what you thought about the overall markings that your instructor gave you. There's a lot going on here, and I think it's really important for us to think about this as far as the new way of writing now that we have AI. I know that's controversial. I know people want to maintain and not change anything, but I think that it really bears more thinking. Perhaps I'll make a whole other video about this, but now that we have this tool built within ChatGPT, the AI that's used the most throughout the world, students will be using this. Students will be now interacting with the AI even at a deeper level. And as far as ensuring that they're going through this process, that could be done in many different ways as well. Screenshots, video recording to show the process that you want them to go through as far as, okay, if you're, it could be a matter of, hey, let's write out this nice long prompt, this advanced prompt in class. So that's an in-class assignment, right? Now you're evaluating their writing. Are they being clear? Are they putting in their voice? Are they being specific enough? So that would be one component, and that could be a big grade in itself. They use that to create a rough draft. Now a screenshot has to be taken of that. And then we go in and use the tool to get suggestions on enhancements, screenshot about that. They'll go in and add their changes, making it more with their voice, more specific to what they're looking for, more accurate as far as their specific details, screenshot after that. So you can see there's all these different components about what could be done. And then you as the instructor choose as far as, well, what gets more of a grade? What gets a higher grade? What doesn't? What is just a participation grade for the overall process? There's a lot of different things to think about here. And I think it really requires us to reevaluate the way that we look at teaching writing as well as evaluation of the writing because of this enhanced new process. This is something to really think about. I look forward to your comments and suggestions. I think this is an ongoing discussion that we should have because This is just, again, the tip of the iceberg. There's more coming. This development as far as inline writing, these additional tools specifically for writing, and the enhancements in what the AI can do is something that we have to continue to be understanding of and to address within our pedagogy and our techniques in order to ensure that we create the best educational environment for everyone involved. Thank you, everyone. I hope you got something out of this. And if you did, please like and share and spread the word so that more people can be part of our community. And remember, learning is for life.